Alright guys, so rules of the road, right? The lanes, this is unofficial, this is not like, this is just fundamental, this is just my opinion. So there's 3 lanes, right now it's like jocked up. But there's 3 lanes essentially on the road, on the highway, depends where you're at. So in New York, usually it's a 3-lane road, it depends where you go, it might be a 2-lane road. But, alright, so 3 lanes. Now, I'm going to tell you, explain the difference between all the lanes, fundamentally, my opinion on how they say, like, the etiquette, but let's go by the law, right? The law says you cannot, speed limit is 55. Now, here it's 55, so if it's 55 miles an hour, it doesn't matter what lane you in, you shouldn't go any faster than 55 miles an hour. Just telling you off the bat. So with that in mind, because if you're saying, well, left lane is, then you're gonna then this will be a different vlog. I'm just going on the assumption that everybody's gonna obey the law. No one wants a ticket because tickets are expensive, and my company takes way too much out taxes than they need to. At least that's how I feel. So let's just assume that everyone's obeying the law. I'm doing 55 miles an hour just for the record. So a lot of these people are not obeying the law. But assuming everybody's obeying the law, speed limit is 55 for all lanes, right? There's no unofficial, the law is 55 miles no matter what lane you're at. That's the max. But essentially, if you're going 55, you should be in the left lane, right? Well, it doesn't matter what lane you're in, but I'm just saying, like the lane, like if someone says, you know what, I want to do 40, right? There's no law unless it's the minimum speed limit. If you want, you can do 40. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous to do that, but there might be some unofficial written rule that even though sign's not posted, you cannot go no less than whatever on the highway. But if you're gonna be in the left lane, ideally you're doing about 55. Now, if you're doing 40 and you're in the left lane, that's not proper etiquette. It's not illegal per se. I guess it depends on the state, because sometimes they may say like left lane's passing only. Some things do that. So, all right. So now the right lane. Here's the thing about the right lane. It's kind of my favorite lane only because it's like the left lane, except for I don't have to worrying about cars tailgating me because I'm doing 55 and they want to do like 85. And even though I can say there and be like, you know what, I'm doing the speed limit. You want to go faster, then that's your problem. Ideally, like, you shouldn't be speeding. So, like, I could be this, like, a person, like, oh, yeah, well, too bad, go around me. But to be nice, and not get any road rage and anything like that, I just stick to the right lane, and I do 55. And you'd be surprised, even in this right lane, 55, people still get annoyed. Go figure, right? You can't win. Sometimes I say, you know what? As much as I get, I might as well just stay in the left lane and be the a-hole, right? But anyway, so the thing about the right lane is kind of like the left lane, like I said. But the problem with the right lane is that cars exit and enter the highway. So now you got to monitor, your position. Now you got to monitor how the car is going in. You gotta slow down, let them on or not. I mean, every state is different, but according to New York, for what I understand, unless I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but there is no like you have to let them merge on. You have to change lanes to let them merge. But I understand you have the right of way, and if they merge in, they have to adjust their speeds according to. So if I'm doing 55 and someone merges on, they cut me off, and I have to press the brakes, that means they didn't merge properly. So when I merge on the highway, I make sure that I don't inconvenience the other driver. So, I mean, that's just me. Not everybody thinks the same. Oh, someone's getting pulled over? Yes, someone's getting pulled over. Alright, so I make sure that I don't inconvenience your driver. Now, that's just the right lane. Now, the middle lane is probably the best lane, like, as far as you're not being the a-hole for doing the speed limit, and you're not being bothered by emerging traffic unless other cars are getting out the way, merging onto your lane because they have to allow for emerging traffic. Now, so that's the thing with the middle lane. So the middle lane is probably the best overall, but the problem with the middle lane is that now you got cars on your left and you got cars on your right. Now you got to pay attention to both, your left and right. So even though, like, you're fine, you're going straight, whatever, but you got to make sure cars, like, you know, on your left or right is I don't know what this guy was doing. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, you got to worry about people not paying attention on your left lane, merging on, and then people on your right. So it's like you got to look both ways. So you got to be more aware when you're in the middle lane. Where if you're in the right or left lane, you're just like, all right, whatever. Now, in actuality, the best lane is the left lane, because why? If you're doing the speed limit, and again, you know, this time I might do a vlog showing you driving the left lane speed limit, and you guys can see. But I'll save that for another, you know, day. But I want to do a vlog basically staying on the left lane, and just watch how cars go around you, get upset or whatever. But I'm gonna do the speed limit. I'm not gonna go any faster, but I'm not gonna go any slower. I'm gonna do exactly the speed limit, and I'm gonna cruise control it. But that's another vlog. If you want, stay tuned for that. But the left lane, the good thing about the left lane is if you're doing the speed limit, chances are you're not gonna have any cars in front of you because they're all speeding, and the cars around you is gonna go around in front of you and speed up ahead. So ideally, you don't have to slow down, press your brakes, or work, and then you don't have to worry about cars like cutting you off, because all you gotta do is worry about the right lane, unless they road rage and they cut you off because they're upset. Now you gotta watch out that, you know, they don't hit you. So, or you know, or if you're nighttime, worry about flashing high beams or whatever, you know. See, like this guy right now. See, I was doing 55, but he's doing slower, so I had to slow down. So now I'm doing 52 because I don't want to tailgate him. So let me slow down a little more. And so that's the thing about the right lane too. Like, you might actually get a car that's doing, like, driving really slow, and in your, at least your eyes. But again, it's not illegal. He has the right to do 42 if he wants to, or 52, whatever the case is. So yeah. So anyway, that's the whole. I mean, this is just a little silly video, you know. Nothing to be set in stone or anything like that. But yeah, that's just to, you know, I guess use it with fundamental, you know, for fun, just to, you know, if anybody else thinks the same. Now, if you this will be a little add-on. Video's basically done, but I'm just gonna do this little add-on, you know. If you want to take it to the mind where, yeah, well, that's if everyone's speeding, but if everyone's not speeding, obeying the law, but there's half the cars, as you see, I'm doing 55, and a lot of cars are passing. So with that in mind, you want to be a little bit, just slightly more mindful. Not that you have to, because again, the law says 55. But you know, there's two things you could say. A, you want to avoid road rage and possibly someone getting upset and, you know, doing malice or whatever to you. Or B, you don't want to feel like you're being the a-hole, and you just want to be a little more considerate. And, you know, or both. All of the above, right? Or both. You want to be considerate, you know, because, you know, speeding, you know, people are probably late for work and they want to take the risk, let them do it. And you don't want to be the a-hole. You know, you don't want to feel like you're the a-hole. So then I say middle or right lane. Depending on what kind of driver you are, if you know, you could take a pick. Now, depending where you at, there might be animals on the road, and you want to avoid them. So you might want to pick the far left lane for that reason. You know, you don't want to be too close to, you know. Then again, they could be, no matter what lane you're on, you could hit a deer. But for the most part, it seems like the right lane hits the deer a little bit more. Or the far left lane, you know, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it off there. Thanks for watching. Like and share. Take care.